Welcome to 16-Bit Superheroes. This is my collection of reviews based on my collection of superhero cartridges from the 90s. This obsession for these cartridges were really influenced by my love of Spider-Man, which came out in 2018 from Insomniac Games. After I played that, I wanted to dive into some other superhero games that I missed. Let's talk about The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo, which came out in 1994, developed and published by Konami, and there was a Sega Genesis Adventures of Batman and Robin, which was made by Sega, which we'll talk about in another review segment. This one is all about the Super Nintendo game, and it's kind of one of those holy grail superhero cartridges that's out there. Buying the original cart, especially brand new in the box, is going to cost you around $100 or more, depending on the kind of deal that you're going to be able to find for it. And it's another one of these titles, just like all of these 16-bit superhero games that I'm going to talk about, that is mired in licensing deals and arrangements and stuff. So it's not something that you would traditionally see re-released, or you're able to find on some kind of eShop or something like that. This one you're going to have to go and track down the original cart, or you're going to have to pick up a reproduction cart, which, is a little bit cheeseball, but it is a way that you can access some of this incredible old content. And incredible is a word that I would definitely say about this game and this experience, which was really true to the old animated Batman series. What happened as they were developing this game is that they changed the title. It was kind of based on Batman, the animated series, and then as the show got more and more popular and new seasons started to happen, they introduced Robin as a component in the animated series, so they changed the name on it as development was happening on this game. And so consequently, even though Robin is a part of the experience, he's not really a big part, and he's not playable. You're only playing as Batman, and each of the different levels in the game, this was back in the day when everything was structured and, you'd play a level, you'd beat a level, you'd go on to the next level. Each of the different levels in the game is based on episodes, and really it's based on matchups with some of the Batman supervillains out there. So you'll be fighting the Penguin, you'll be fighting Two-Face and Catwoman. It starts off with Joker, and you're going to see Harley Quinn in there, and you're going to get some really tough roller coaster levels that are going to drive you bananas. You're also going to be driving the Batmobile for a little while, although that's incredibly underwhelming. Sometimes you're going to have to play a little bit more stealthy and use all of the gadgets that are in your utility belt, like flashlights and X-ray goggles. You're going to be using your batarangs to disarm enemies. What blows me away about this game is just the beautiful work that's in all of the animation. The art and animation in this title is just incredible. It has totally stood the test of time. Even though it's all sprite-based, and we've come a long way with in-game animation, all you gotta do is look at Insomniac Spider-Man for that. It's still a remarkable, very close connection to the animated work that existed around this franchise. And for that, it's like a loving homage. The music also echoes a lot of the great music that we heard in the series, and there's this really cool atmosphere that's pervasive from level to level. You want to keep playing. You want to see who's going to be up next. I remember playing this game back in the day, but for some reason I never owned it, or I did own it and it went missing because the collection has gotten big and little bits and pieces have disappeared over the years. But I couldn't believe that I didn't have this, so I had to track it down again, and I did get it. And I adore this game. It's something that I keep going back to. This is something that every superhero fanatic out there, particularly Batman fans, especially fans of the old Batman animated series, should track down and play. Now, I love this game, but the challenge for me is that I want to score it based on my appreciation for the game now, not through the, rose-colored lenses of nostalgia, although that definitely plays into how much I enjoy it. But I want to give a score based on how much fun it provides me today. It's not a perfect game. The Batmobile stuff isn't super easy to control, and there are some collision problems, and there are some elements in the game that just feel a little bit cheap. But even though it's got some quirks, it's still an undeniable, enjoyable work of art. I'm going to give The Adventures of Batman and Robin from Konami for the Super Nintendo a 9 out of 10.